Mastermind hit.
What's up, everyone? It's your boy Mastermind of Ohio Cannabis Live, here on the scene live from King City.
That wasn't supposed to happen. So I don't know why that happened. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another show. You caught me with my hat off. I always wear my hat off so you don't see my messed up hairdo. But you caught me slipping today. Welcome back to another episode. I'm breaking down everything for Christmas. You know how that is. So it's a little junky in here right now, but that's all right. So again, thank you for joining us today on our live stream today. The breaking headline right now is Governor DeWine wants to hurry up and sell some weed. He's in a rush, but he also wants to ban Delta 8. So if you're new to my content, it's your first time watching, please do me a favor, hit the like, subscribe button right now and share the video to your favorite social media network and share the video with your friends and family. In the bottom of our news ticker, we've got some information about the national cannabis scene as well as the forecast for the next 3 days in Ohio. We are expecting some wintry mixed weather here. So it could be cold. We could have some freezing rain. We could have some slush. We could even have a little bit of snow on the ground. But from what I'm hearing and on my sources, it sounds like we're just going to get like a dusting. It's going to get too warm. We're going to end up with rain and slush. It's going to be a big old sloppy mess out there. How you doing, Ken Ambassador? Hey, Mean Beans. Hey, Jimmy. Welcome back. So yes, like I said, I want to jump right into our first thing here, which is, like I said, our update, January 5th, 2024. Again, you're watching Ohio Cannabis Live, Ohio's #1 source for news, information, and other information about cannabis that's legal and just cannabis in general. If you haven't already, make sure you visit my website, ohiocannabislive.com, and sign up for updates and also read our latest blog post. So, recreational cannabis sales. This is something that a lot of people are really waiting to hear about. Right now, there is no recreational cannabis sales. Ohio Senate passed Senate Bill 86, which would be for immediate marijuana sales, and will be, people will be able to buy cannabis within 90 days of this becoming passed. Okay, well, guess what? The House didn't like it, so they didn't go with it. So it was not passed, and that become law. So recreational sales, according to the Issue 2 law, they have the Ohio Department of Commerce and the Ohio Department of Cannabis, or Cannabis Control, whatever they want to call it. They have 90 days for them to come up with, 9 months to come up with the rules and regulations for recreational sales. So right now, you still need to get your medical marijuana card. That has not changed, even though this is a new year. Still the same old shenanigans in Ohio. We're doing it the Ohio way, everybody. Such bull crap, right? Such bull crap. They also would like to ban Delta 8. Governor DeWine wants a ban on Delta 8. Obviously, he thinks these products are going to be a gateway to kids getting gummy bears. And, Delta 8 has been an affordable option for people who cannot afford to be in the medical cannabis program. Delta 8 is different from Delta 9 THC. What's the difference? Well, Delta 8 is a derivative of CBD. Most Delta 8 products that you're purchasing or seeing in stores are basically products that have had some type of chemical process done to rush the product to turn into Delta 8. Cannabis CBD can turn into Delta 8 on its own after it cures for a very long time. But if you want to make money, you really can't wait for that to happen naturally. So you go with the acid option. That's what a lot of people call it. And that's not the best option, and it's not very organic. It's not very natural. It is a chemical process. That doesn't mean that all D8 products are bad. Some are great. And then you have a lot of other variants out there like THCH, THCO, THCJ, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. These are all similar things, but they're all part of the cannabis system. So it is important for us to understand these things. The impact of the hemp industry could be catastrophic. Why? Because they're only hanging on right now by selling these Delta 8 type products, THC variants, like I mentioned. That's what's keeping these companies from, going out of business. So a ban on D8 products could end a lot of local head shops or local CBD shops that are trying to stay open as long as they publicly can. So that's something for you to keep in mind. Um, you know, there's a lot of shops popping up that are saying that they're selling legit cannabis, and they're not. They're just selling D8 or some variant. The only way to get legit, real live cannabis, other than growing it yourself or getting it from whoever you've been getting it from, is for you to go to a medical cannabis dispensary and, or take the risk and drive up to Michigan and get it there. I don't recommend you do that simply because it's still illegal on many levels, not just on the federal, but also on the state level. So it's not a good idea to go to Michigan right now, even though many people still do it. More power to you. I ain't judging you, but just realize that you're creating your own risks if something goes wrong. Plus, you're going to pay their tax, which is 16%. So you're just preparing to pay tax here, because ours will be, if we let them have it their way, they want it to be 15%. As it was proposed in the issue 2 law, it's only going to be 10%. So, something else everybody cares about very passionately, including myself, is home grow restrictions. The Ohio House Bill 354, not as bad as SB 86, but still bad for the people of Ohio. It would maintain a ban on sharing home grow cannabis and clones and things of that nature. It would keep us at the same level of plants, as far as we'll be able to still grow up to 12 plants per household. However, it would add more taxes on other things, such as recreational sales, such as licensed cultivators that are doing commercial cultivation would now be getting an extra tax added on to their cultivation licensing charges. This would just basically mean that they would pass that on to us as consumers, and that would mean the cannabis would still be expensive like it already is in Ohio, and that would mean more people would just say, you know what, I'm done with this, I'm going to Michigan. Uh, Another thing that they want to do, and it's not on my slide, I must have forgot that slide, was they still want to prevent us from having the ability to consume in public. So it's not the things that people want. It's what they want. It's not anything that's going to make people go out and run and spend money on local businesses. We want people to spend money locally. We don't want them to go to Michigan. We want them to spend money in Ohio. How else are we going to get our economy growing? How else are we going to get roads fixed? How else are we going to get people's records cleared if we're not making any money? So we've got to definitely steer our government leaders in the right direction and let them know that we should be able to grow and we should have consumption rights. I mean, if I understand, consuming in a place that's not appropriate where kids might be at. I can get that and respect that 100%. I also think that it's important for us to have a conversation about gun ownership and cannabis use rights, as well as housing and employment protection. These are the things that we have to continue to drive the conversation about. We can't just leave it about only home grow. It has to be about other things. It can't be about just going up to Michigan. You can't just make it about only what is convenient for you in the short term. You got to think about how things are going to be in the long term. We're going to have a lot of people who are going to all of a sudden be coming to Ohio to experience cannabis because it's still illegal in their state. Kentucky, for example, they're going to be flocking here. We have to be prepared for that. So as a viewer of my channel, what I want you to do in the comments is tell me how you think recreational cannabis is going to affect you in the short term. And if you have more time, also in the comments, tell me how you think it's going to affect you in the long term. Meanwhile, make sure you tell people to check out my website, ohiocannabislive.com. You can also sign up here as a member on my website and support the channel that way. Memberships only start at $1.99. You can see some of our members here, like Jimmy's on here as well, and Lynette. They're all members of the channel and moderators. So if I miss something or if I don't acknowledge you, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's because maybe I just didn't see your comment. I just want to show you the screen that I have to look at sometimes. It's kind of small. It's hard for me to really see everybody's comments all the time. But if you definitely want me to see your comments, you can certainly donate by using a super chat. And that will make it very clear to me that you are there, because it makes a big graphic on my screen over there and I will be able to see it better. But like I said, I can't stress this enough. Definitely support the channel. You can support the channel by hitting that subscribe button right now. You can also donate at www.ohiocannabislive.com/donate. You can donate as little as $1, as much as whatever you want. But every little bit counts to help keep this website and this platform going. This software, this editing, me moving around, doing all these events, this stuff costs a lot of money that I just simply do not have, folks. And it's very hard to really get people to realize the cost and scale and scope of what it costs for me to do the YouTube channel. We're making great progress. Some of our videos recently in the live stream have crossed 1,000 views. So we are making progress. We are doing better than we were before, but we have to continue to grow the channel. There are 7 million people plus that use cannabis probably in Ohio. I think 13 million people in Ohio, something like that. We got a lot of people here that are still afraid to even watch a video about cannabis. So you have to be sending them the link and telling them to tune in if they want to be in tune to what's happening. When it's time to apply for a license, you better be watching my channel. When I start the growing videos, you better start watching my channel. I got some new videos coming out. Make sure you subscribe to my sister station, Ohio Cannabis Growers. So make sure you start searching that on YouTube, because there is another channel that I just started. It hasn't started yet, but it will start soon. Thanks, Jimmy, for the super chat. So this is an example of what I was saying there. As you can see, when Jimmy did the super chat, you can see the $2 there very clearly, and it's very easy for me to see that. So that makes it really easy for me to see, what you're saying. And again, I even bought new glasses so I could see better, because my glasses were broken. So I was squinting at you guys the whole time we're doing the videos. You might notice a lot of times that I'm constantly moving around and shifting, and don't think that I'm trying to be weird, but what it really is that where I'm sitting at right now is kind of like a lower level, and it's cold, and I get cold very easily, and I suffer from extreme pain. So I do a lot of moving around to help keep myself warm, and also to kind of like take away from my pain. Thank you, Lynette, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Like I said, we're always breaking the record, breaking the algorithm here with your support. And it's really important that we stay focused in on the mission at hand. And I try to make sure that people understand that, this is important. This is a moment where, as people of Ohio, we have to stand up for what we believe is right when it comes to this cannabis. And that includes consumption rights. That includes housing protections. That includes employment protections. That includes a lot of other things that I can't think of right now because it's a lot. And so I'm asking you, as a viewer and a member of the channel, to start thinking about how you could help out, whether it's helping send emails to legislators, whether it's helping draw up letters to send emails to legislators, whether it's helping host events to help educate people in your community. All you got to do is reach out to me. If you think you got a place and location where we can have an event, where we can educate people about what's going on, I'm all ears for it, and I can get other people to help us get it done. So again, I'm talking to you. You live in a small town. Don't think that we can't come to your town and host an event. We just had an event in Akron. Shout out to my friends at Totally Baked Pizza. And also shout out to my buddy here at Colton's Place here in Columbus, Ohio. So we've been having events, and we're not hiding no more. The hiding is over. And as you know, for the last 4 or 5 years, I have not been hiding. Hey, Donnie B, thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you. Is the THC levels not being limited anymore? Any updates on that? This would affect vape potency a lot. Great question. I'm glad you asked that, Donnie B. To answer your question, as it currently stands, nothing was changed. We still have the same THC limits that we had in the medical marijuana program, and also we're going to continue with the limits that are proposed in issue 2. Now, that could change tomorrow. They could wake up tomorrow and all come to some weird agreement that they want to reduce the THC potency. It is something that they're ambitiously wanting to do. They want to reduce it from where it's at now, like 90% down to 50%. So if they were to do that, this would be a catastrophic hit to the vaping industry in our cannabis space here in Ohio. It would cause all kind of products to have to be destroyed. It would not be good for existing medical marijuana companies, especially who have already had lots of inventory produced in anticipation of recreational sales happening. So that's definitely not something we want to happen. You said you don't smoke it, but your wife does for anxiety and keep appetite. Being perfectly legal to upkeep the meds without worrying about getting jail is a life changer. I absolutely agree with you, John Burnett. You're absolutely right. And something else I want to address on this channel, and I want to do some research, and I want you to also give me your input on this, is that there are devices now that will allow for elimination of cannabis odors. So I'm a big person to try to avoid using air fresheners and sprays and candles and waxes. And now we have technology that exists. Some of my other followers have told me that they have purchased air purification systems that are very affordable price of like $100 and been able to purify the air in an effective way to reduce the smell smoke or just the smell smoke in general. And that's something I'm definitely interested in. So if you're a company that's out there and you sell these type of air filters, definitely reach out to us. We would like to know more about these type of products. If you are a company that is in the cannabis space, no matter what state you're in, what country you're in, we are looking to partner with various companies in regards to a variety of areas related to recreational cannabis. So don't hesitate to reach out. Find us on LinkedIn. Find us on YouTube. Find us at info@ohiocannabislive.com. You know, we definitely want to connect with as many companies as we possibly can to provide as much information as we possibly can, and also provide resources for those individuals who are looking for information or supplies for their grow. I mean, I cannot wait to show you what I'm going to do. Now, I did get some seeds here. And these I only pay $5, and I've got there's 4 in here. Well, maybe 5 in this one, and 5 in this one. So I definitely would like to see what happens with these. One of them is Odin's OG. It says Royal Phoenix times Banana OG, and the other one I've got is the I don't know, something Baker. I can't remember. Forum. It says Forum Cookies times JTR. So and it says here these are 5 tester seeds. So I can't wait to test them. We gonna be growing us some cannabis on Ohio Cannabis Live, and it's gonna be live. And you know what's gonna happen? I'm calling this new thing. I call it live mode. You know what that means? That just means I just do my thing and be me. And I know all of you love it when I go into live mode because that's when I really get the show going. I get everybody excited. I get everybody energized when Anthony Riley Mastermind goes into live mode. Okay? So at this point, what we need to be doing is we need to be planning how we're going to get these meetings done. I don't care if we do Zoom. I'm already paying for Zoom. If y'all want to start having Zooms again and start organizing, let's do that. If you want to do it on Messenger and Facebook, let's do that. I don't want to hear any excuses why we cannot organize all these people. Hey, thanks, Mike, for the super chat. I appreciate you, my brother. We had to do it. We're already starting. We've got a good start here. We have grown this channel, this information. We have inspired other people to create channels. Congratulations to all the new YouTubers in Ohio that have created channels, whether it's on Instagram or on YouTube or whatever. Congratulations. I'm glad that you have finally realized it's time to come out and stop hiding. Because I'm here. And we're going to have a lot more guests on the show. I mean, I know you get tired of seeing me by myself all the time, and I don't really have guests on here. So I just know that I just got the phone with Pothead Genius, and Pothead Genius is coming back to the show. And who knows who will be returning back now that we got something else to talk about besides the boring medical marijuana. So we got stuff to talk about now. We got to talk about seeds. We got to talk about genetics. We got to talk about lights. We got to talk about concentrates. We got to talk about everything that we could never talk about before, because now we can talk about this stuff. Absolutely. And if I didn't tell you this before, if you haven't done it already, you need to go on and join the website. Subscribe here, join the website, follow me on Instagram, go to my about on this profile thing they got on YouTube, and click on all them platforms and follow me on all of them. Because guess what? I do all kind of stuff that you probably don't even know about because you're not following me on Instagram. I do stuff on other platforms that you don't even see because you're not following me everywhere. So follow me everywhere and hit that like button. See it down there? Right there. Like. Hit that button and then go over here and hit that subscribe button. Bing, bing. You like how I've got that down there. And let me know what you think about the new graphics that we're using. Shout out to ChatGPT. And so we've definitely come a long way. You know, part of that is me going to the Ohio Media School. Part of that is me doing extensive research. And I think that at the end of the day, I'm still learning. I'm still gathering information. An article I posted on my website was about how women are basically working in a hostile environment in the Ohio cannabis industry. And if you haven't read that article, it doesn't have a lot of views like a lot of other posts I post do. And I'm not a woman, so I'm not going to write the same way a woman writes. But what I do want to let women know is that I support you. I want women to have fair pay, equal pay, and I want women to be fairly represented in the cannabis industry in Ohio. And I think there is resistance. I think that women are not being treated fairly in these cannabis employment jobs in some circumstances. This is not everybody. This isn't every cannabis company doing this, but there are companies that may be bigger that are doing things that are not right. And we have to encourage people to call them out for their shenanigans so they can knock that shit off. Because it's just not good. I mean, we have to make sure that our cannabis community is different. We have to shine. We have to be the best of the best so that other states that are in the process of legalizing can look for us for guidance instead of looking at us and shaking their head and saying, man, we just going to drive straight through Ohio and go straight to Michigan. No, we don't want you to drive straight through Ohio to go to Michigan. We want you to stop here in Ohio and support local, support all of our shops, all of our local businesses, all of our local restaurants, all of our tourism, because what that's going to do is make Ohio better. They talking about they want to do it the Ohio way. The Ohio way is the people's way. What? That's what I said. The Ohio's way is the people's way, not the government's way. And the only way we're going to win is by us joining the forces together. Once they see us united, once they see how many cannabis users there really are in Ohio, then they're going to have no other choice but to listen. But if we still keep letting the same people talk over and over and over and over and over, nobody's ever going to hear all these stories that I hear all the time about how cannabis changed your life, how it made you better, how it stopped your pain, how it saved your marriage, how it saved your family, how you became financially stable when you figured out you could get a job working at a cannabis dispensary, how you went from being somebody who was maybe in the black world, in the black market, to now you're the manager of a company in the cannabis space. Maybe you started your own cannabis company. Maybe you have started all kind of businesses because now, unlike before, you have a seat at the table. You can't see the desk, but there's a seat here for you too. Whether you want to sit here physically or whether you want to sit here visually or through audio, through art, whatever you think, we're going to create the pathway for equity for everybody, not just black people, not just poor people, but anybody who wants to be a part of this in an entrepreneurship way. We want to create the path forward for that. And we don't care what you look like. We don't care what your political affiliation is. I don't care what your sex is. I don't care what your gender identity is. I don't care about any of them things, only that you're happy and we can all succeed and win. Because that's what matters most. It's not about how much money you can make off somebody. It's about how much of an impact can you make in their lives. And if you make some money along the way, but if you can't make an impact in somebody's life, if you can't do something that makes things better for not just one person, but maybe the many, then what are you really living for? What are you really here for? I mean, we've been doing this for a long time, many of us. We've been using cannabis through our whole life. And for a long time, we was restricted from learning. We was restricted from understanding the true reason we use cannabis. In addition to the medical reason, it's because it brings people together. It provides a sense of community. It provides positive energy. It provides positive healing. And all kind of other things that I would get in trouble for if I said it. So you know, and I know that we can do this. And if we participate in a public rulemaking process in a professional and respectful manner, that we will have direct input on any changes that are made to the issue 2 law. But if we sit back and wait for Mastermind to testify and wait for everybody else to testify, and we don't get to say what we need to say beyond just on the internet, well, you already seen how that worked out with the medical program. It didn't go so well. So this time, we are going to have say on what they do. And if they do something that's against the will of the people of Ohio, we must show them when midterms come up that we're not voting for them again and that they are gone. Bye. Because if we let them stay in office, not only will they repeal issue 2, they will recriminalize cannabis for everybody. They'll eliminate or do so much damage to the medical marijuana program that it will simply just die. If you really read SB 86, it's a sinister bill as far as I'm concerned. The things that they want to do would make everybody mad, no matter whether you are a medical patient, a rec user, or someone in the CBD hemp industry. It will make you mad. It's like a law they wrote as a punishment because we legalized cannabis. House Bill 354? Where are you? Nah, it ain't it. Because if we let that pass, now we're talking about inflating the cost of everything in the supply chain. We're talking about additional unnecessary sales tax that we don't need so they can give more money to police and prisons. No, we cannot do that. We cannot allow that to happen. So when they start talking about them passing a bill, I expect this time will be different because we will make sure that people know how to write in testimony. Don't worry, if you can't go in person, you can still submit your testimony. And they gotta put it in the record. And imagine you being a part of history. Imagine your name etched in there forever. I help stop these people from doing this. Join me. Join all of us who have been fighting them every time they have a hearing. We show up if we can. It is extremely difficult to do. And they will make you wait 3-4 hours before you could even say a word when they already know what you are going to say, because you have to submit your testimony in advance just for them to let you go. So we have to do this. So again, over the next several weeks, start thinking about where can we have a meeting in your town. We're going on tour. Wherever you tell me to go, and we can have an event and it's safe and clean and we can get people there and they feel safe and everybody's secure, we're there. Because we want to give you this information firsthand. We want to answer all these questions, and we want to make sure the lawmakers in your community understand the law themselves. Because guess what? A lot of these folks do not read the laws. They just think they know what it is because they're following what the media said. The media ain't reading the laws. They pay somebody else to do that. Summarize it for me. What's important to the people? No, you need to know all the laws. If you're going to be in this, you better know what you're talking about. And a lot of times they're signing up these thousands of pages of rules and they haven't read page 1 yet. So over the next few weeks, if you got time, go to my website and read SB 86 for yourself. Read House Bill 354. Read the Ohio Revised Code law that exists right now. It's quite amazing to read things about us being allowed to use vaporizers and suppositories and all these other things that we've been fighting to get in our medical program that we now have access to, or will have access to, in the recreational program. It's rather mind-boggling, all the things we'll be able to do under issue 2 if you really read through it. So again, I really thank all of you for being here. Before we go, I'm going to ask what I ask every night, and that is, what are you having for dinner? All right. So there's someone at my door, so I don't know, or outside my driveway, so I don't know exactly who that is. So anyway, I'm going to have to let all of you go. But again, I thank you all for being here. I'm going to tell you all, do what I always say, mash that like, subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next stream.